Hello and welcome back to another episode of Having Fun with Walt Frasier. I'm Walt Frasier, and we're here talking improv comedy, corporate team building, K-12 educational outreach, and what we do as actors and improv comedians and all that kind of fun stuff. I'm here with Obi. I'm still not confident I'm going to say your last name right. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Obi Nwako, and I'm very happy to be here on the podcast for this episode.
I would have been better off than I thought I was going to be. I would have said Nwako. I
Yeah.
thought Nyako. I might have Nwako. Okay, so I'm the worst with names, and as soon as I think I have it, because I've butchered it in the past, 3 minutes in, I can't remember which was the right way, and
No, I
I'm
have that
horrible
all
at
the
it.
time, honestly. I
Yeah,
always second doubt second guess myself. So yeah,
it's
I get
horrible.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I feel so bad when I substitute for these classes. These people know me now because I've been
Mm.
there 5 or 6 times, but I work with like 200 different groups a year. And I'm somewhat jealous. Even my own students that I work with every Saturday, I'm
Yeah.
so bad. And then there are times when they mess with me and tell me the wrong name to be funny,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I will never know your name now because of that. So, but it's on you, not me. So I'm okay with it. But
Yeah.
so yeah, tell me that you've been with us now 2 years, or when did you?
Yeah. I started in 2024, about like August, September time. And yeah, so I've been going strong for the past like 2 years then.
Awesome. And where'd you go to school?
So, high school, I did like Regis High School, born and raised in New York. So yeah, I went to this Regis High School, Upper East Side, and I went to Williams College in Massachusetts,
Oh yeah.
Williamstown. Yeah. Studied theater there. Yeah, so it wasn't like a conservatory or anything like that. Very liberal arts college, can study anything. But I feel like I learned a lot of useful things about theater and life in general there.
Very, very cool. And then you've been doing these residencies for us up at Dream in the Bronx, and
Yeah,
you've been there
yeah.
pretty much almost every day, Monday through Thursday, the past.
Started
Yeah,
in the summer
right.
2025, and then continued started in the school year the 2025 2026. Yeah.
Awesome. And then so really get out of the way, what's your best memory doing improv comedy with Age is Never Enough?
Yeah, I mean, I it happened, I think, this past fall. It was you, me, Max. I think Ashley was there too, and there was maybe like Dave also. So it was a good group, and we were having this sing it. And I don't know how we got onto this, but we were in like this pizza shop, and we were all like kind of Italian cooks trying to figure out what we're gonna do. And then I just had this song stuck in my head. It was like Mamma Mia, pizzeria, pizza, pizza, pizza. Very stupid, very silly. But honestly, for the next week, I kept on murmuring to myself, and people were just going like, "Obi, what are you saying? Like, what is that?" So it very much it's stuck in my head constantly. I think sing-its are like really one of the most fun things we do because it
Yeah.
puts all of our talents on display. Like it shows our improv, it shows our thinking on the spot, it shows our singing, and we can just like really have fun and get into it.
You know what's funny about improv? I work with kids a lot when we do like shows. And remember that
Yeah.
time we did this in that one class? Like, no.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think I've done at least 10,000
Yeah.
shows slash workshops, probably more, but um, I feel like I've done at least 8,000 shows in 23 years because we were doing
Mhm.
600 shows a year for a time, 4 shows at a school back where we were going really hard, like 2008, 2012, like doing 4 days a week of like 3 to 4 day shows a day, and then
Yeah.
6 to 7 shows a week at night. Back when I could get up at 8 a.m. at a school and still be at the club at midnight, and then I turned
Yeah.
40, and that was the end of that. But there are those weird songs that do get stuck.
Yeah.
Those earworms from an improv scene that you remember. That's amazing what does stick. And then I always have to remember when everybody asks me, because when I go to them, they don't remember it. It's like we all have our own things that we could latch onto from the improv.
Yeah. No, I definitely like when I was doing improv in college, post shows, I would like, oh yeah, I don't remember a single thing we
Yeah, yeah,
talked
yeah,
about.
yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's a moment in time, and it's like the upside of improv is that it's a moment in time. That's why it's so good. But then
Yeah.
it's gone, and a lot of times the videos don't look good online too. We find these little clips from things like World's Worst, and then I'm
Yeah.
just afraid that people are like that. That's all we do. That's what they think
Mm,
because
yeah.
that's what easily translates to a reel or a short or a TikTok video. But these 3 minute musicals or 10 minute musicals we come up with, it's like
Yeah.
watching theater on Bravo. If you don't have 10 cameras, Hamilton was the one show that did it right. You know,
Yeah, yeah, it was
accepted, right?
perfect.
If they have the production value, but when you just take a video of a live thing, it doesn't translate well. So, but
Yeah,
if
it's
you're in the
more reason
theater,
to come into person and see these type of things. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So you got to be there, buy some tickets. You know,
Yeah.
DM me, I'll free tickets. I just want you to be there because it's so different every single time. But
Yeah.
but that being said, so and I said I sent out all these people a questionnaire like what was the worst time you ever did, and I never want to talk about like a particular client. You don't even know the one that is like the official worst that was ever gig we ever did. I would say it's counted 5 or 6 hands, or five fingers on one hand, like the gigs that
Yeah.
I really regret doing. Uh,
Mm.
but we were doing a gig out last summer that it was more like, and I feel like I want to do that gig again because I think I knew what I could do now to fix
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But we're doing a gig at a summer place outside, and but it's like a huge place, and we're in one place, and it was almost like
Yeah.
up to us to say, we want to do a show now, come see us, as opposed to at 2 o'clock, everybody go see Improv for Kids.
Yeah. And honestly, the only reason that I even thought that was the worst, it was just like trying to think on the spot, how are we able to pull people, how to get them in? Like, I think we
Yeah.
did actually pretty good performances, and we got a
Oh
crowd
yeah.
actually by the end of it, which was pretty nice.
In fact, we
It
got
was
some
just that,
videos online that are great. Like they're really
yeah,
funny scenes going on.
it's just that start of like, oh, we aren't really scheduled, and it's more just like people are coming and going because you're not really used to that when you're like setting up a performance for like improv.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Did you see the videos I created with the Reese where we went into Times Square and other places where I was just randomly getting people on the streets to improvise
Oh
with
yes,
me?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah.
I was thinking if we go back to that place, that's what we need to do. We just need to
Oh
go
yeah.
around and say, "Hey, we want to sing a song for you. What's your name?" Okay, we're going to sing a song for you, and get people to stop for 2 or 3 minutes and then go on, and just like
Yeah.
be basically strolling minstrels of a Ren Fest kind of a thing.
Yeah,
And
I think actually that would really fit the vibe of that place, honestly. Yeah, I think that works.
yeah, we were going to do a show. I ended up not doing the show. There's a show in Philadelphia that was going to be a bar, a bat mitzvah rather, and
Hmm.
they wanted a Renfest Shakespeare improv program. And I pitched them this thing, and it was through another booker. I pitched
Yeah.
it, and when I finally talked to her directly, it was not what I pitched, but it was going to be like that show, like
Yeah.
that day. They were going to have to like go in. Okay, you just come out into like the dining room and say, "Hey, in this other room over here. We're doing stuff if you want to come in." And you haven't been a part of the show when we did this, but we did 7 years where we went into Times Square every day
Hmm.
saying, "We have a show. Come see our show." And we
Yeah.
sold out 6 to 7 to 8 shows a week doing that. So I know how to do it. But it's weird at a private event, especially like at a fancy banquet hall, and people are dressed up for a wedding or a bar mitzvah or something like this. In this other
Yeah.
place that's kind of like a historical, kind of a pirate seaside museum kind of a place, it
Yeah.
actually could have worked. We could have done a Ren Fest almost type of thing. But
Yeah.
oh my God, I was like, I don't want, and luckily I got sick. I didn't have to do that shit. And it was also, oh, you know what it was also? We had the blizzard. And
Oh yeah.
we ended up having an all Philadelphia cast do it, and they didn't get as much snow as we did. I think they were able to get home safe, but it was
Okay.
that Sunday that we would have had a huge blizzard. We
Yeah.
would not have been, and they were going to shut down. They did shut down the subways at 9 p.m. So I think I had Sam and Thomas were going to come down with me. I would not have been able to get them home because
Oh
the
yeah,
tunnels were
absolutely.
closed, the subways were closed. They would have had to stay at my house. I know they don't want to do that. So, uh, so yeah, so I want to talk because my big mission. I might have even told you this. I can't remember her. For a long time, I've been saying my mission is spreading joy and laughter, one show at a time, one workshop at a time, while teaching these invaluable life skills with improv comedy, going to corporate
Yeah.
workshops, working with the schools, through our public shows and classes. And I kind of have like this new thing. I realize that's what we do. I
Hmm.
think my mission is knocking stage fright off the top of the list of phobias. And we're not going to cure social anxiety,
Yeah.
but I've seen people through improv overcome it. You know what I mean? It's still a thing. It's still something they have to work through, but
Yeah.
they realize they have self-worth, they have agency. And so what I want to do is like start the conversation with you as an actor. What's the first memory of you being on stage and talking about the first kind of time that you felt comfortable on stage and
Yeah.
getting to that point where you had agency where, there's still moments where I get in my head and it's not a regular occurrence, but every once in a while I worry about the wrong things and I realize I'm not focused, and I get a little of that little angst, even at 53. But
Yeah, yeah.
but there was a time when that was every time. What was that like that first time, and then how did you work through it eventually?
No, it's actually really interesting because I think my first memory of acting kind of deals with this like I guess like the stage fright or like the releasing of it.
Yeah,
The first time I was on stage, it was third grade, and I couldn't tell you what the name of the show was. It was one of those like little kids made
sure.
something specifically for them. But the scene was we were all at a family dinner and our mom character was gonna come on and like start the scene. But the curtains opened early, so we hadn't fully set up. So like the curtains open, we're seeing everyone. So like there's honestly it was probably only like 5 seconds, but to us it felt like hours of just like us staring at the crowd
Yeah.
and nobody saying anything. And then in my mind, I don't know what really like called to me, but I was like one of the kids at the table and I said, "I'm hungry." And that's not one of my lines, but I just like felt something tell me like I need to say something in this moment. And like the crowd like laughs and then everyone kind of like relaxes on stage. Like I can kind of feel everyone taking like a deep breath, like, and then like
Mm.
the mom goes into her lines and everything like that. And then after the scene ends, I like leave the stage and people are like, "Oh, good job, Obi, good ad lib." And in my head, I'm like, one, I don't know what an ablet is. I'm like a third grader. That means
Yeah.
nothing to me. But two, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I really loved, I don't know, being on there and feeling confident enough to just like say something, keep it going, and like I really loved getting that reaction from the crowd. So I think even just my beginning thoughts of theater, of acting was like I want to be able to feel comfortable just to like go. Just like
Mm.
have like even if I don't have like this net under me, I just have to say something and like continue with it, you know? So I think really even from a young age, I was looking for improv and I didn't have improv yet.
Yeah. What was that like that first more legitimate theater moment that you felt like really like you owned the space?
Yeah, I would say On, I think the first time I really had a lead role, I think it was like this fifth grade show, sixth grade show, and like I just fully felt like confident. Like there was
Nice.
like times when I had to like come onto stage from like the audience, and like I
Mm.
really like was owning and milked my moment. It's just like something that was like I just like I knew what I was doing. I just felt good about it. Like there was just like do all of the like rehearsals we had and everything like that. I just felt very like I can do this. So like, yeah, I would say like fifth grade,
Yeah.
sixth grade. Like I knew very early on, like I was given a like a confidence to do it, you know?
It's funny. I wasn't looking to tie this in directly. I have like this PDF I've been sending to schools to promote
Yeah.
what we do, and I'm on this kick like to achieve my new mission
Hmm.
about getting improv into every third grade class. And it's just so interesting. You mentioned third grade. It's just bringing it back to that. But
Yeah.
because I wish I was a musician at that age and I could get on stage and perform. But when you're playing trumpet, or even if you're playing piano, if you're not
Yeah.
singing and acting, you can lose yourself in the music in a
Mm.
way that it's easier to be confident. You don't have to make eye contact. In fact, it's weird if you do sometimes, unless you're like even a soloist. Like you're out there, you're kind of just, oh, I'm just in my moment.
Yeah.
Compared to that first time where I had to like get on there and sing a song or do a monologue or really be an actor as I switched over. But
Yeah. It's
but
interesting you
having
bring
yeah.
up, yeah, the instrument because I played saxophone when I was younger,
Oh right,
and I
yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
much, yeah, I was hiding and like I felt like okay, I don't like need to stand out in this. I can like focus on like the sound and like the people I'm playing with. So yeah, it's definitely like I was okay with performing, but like yeah, it's interesting with an instrument. I felt very focused on like I can kind of hide away behind the instrument instead of really
Yeah.
like showing myself off.
Yeah, I feel like there's a resurgence where people realize the value of the arts, but I really wonder the rise in social anxiety, if there's anything to do, although plenty of musicians have it, but or plenty of artists have it, but
Yeah.
the play, this huge rise in social anxiety, other than politics or other stuff that's going on. And just sometimes, and that wasn't my focus for today, but it's interesting with the last 30, 40 years of slowly bringing arts out of the schools in many places. And
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like a resurgence. We're doing more residencies than ever because I really feel like there's principals that realize we need something.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
give what can you do for my kids? And we're getting in there. And I feel like even though in our biggest struggling moments, the classes we really like, why are we here? Sometimes we have like it's chaos in our minds, but then we leave and the principal or the teacher says, oh my God, I've never seen him focus like that before. Like, how
Yeah.
bad is it when we're not here? Like that scares me that was good,
Yeah.
but it's like at the same time, I know I've had those conversations enough times that we are doing some good. Like they keep bringing us back, so I guess there's a reason
Yeah.
for that. But so talking about now that you're using improv as a teacher,
Yeah.
um, what is it like for you teaching? Because in this school, and I've been there a few times, and I've done workshops now for 6 and 5 year olds as well. We're doing
Yeah.
a lot of improv for 5, 6, 7 year olds,
Yeah.
and I'm what are the challenges, the rewards, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely have had to like rewire my brain about improv a little bit.
Yeah,
And I think my main thing that I believe when I'm like doing improv myself, and I think it's your number one rule, like your own number one rule. I think the having fun thing is so important, and like that's
yeah,
kind of how I lead. Like I want to make sure at the end of the day the students end with like I enjoyed improv. Like I had fun today. I like playing this game. Because
yeah,
I
yeah,
think the
yeah.
more they're having fun, the more the skills are gonna kind of just like naturally like fall into them. Um so yeah, I think the challenge at first was like thinking about games where like that aren't too like complicated for like these first graders, and they're not just like what am I supposed to be doing now, like what am I even like, so you want to like even just my explanations of the games, I want to make sure like I'm coming across to them clearly, and like making sure like I put myself in a first grader's brain, like if someone told me how to do this, what are the first questions I'm going to ask, and making sure like I can really make sure it's fully clear and that they're able to understand it and still have fun doing it at the same
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, it's interesting. There are times my biggest frustration, I think, and where I think you're good at this. I think you're better than I am at this, actually. I think, but we're better than most. Is the patience required to get through some of these sessions where
Yeah.
it's so easy to cross the line and become like every other adult.
Yeah.
And I would say like I never want to condemn these adults because they're being normal because
Yeah.
most people are that way in the sense that this is an unnatural situation that and you just want to scream sometimes, you just want to yell and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and I think I've realized over time that it doesn't work,
Yeah.
and over time the patience works better, and eventually we have fun, and eventually we get them to a point where they're listening and focused. But that frustrating moment of like you can't even start a game.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do when you can't even start a game because the 30 seconds it takes to teach a game, to get
Mhm.
the simplest game going.
Yeah.
Like there are classes you walk into, you can't even get to that step sometimes.
Yeah, and I've definitely had my fair share of days where I'm like, okay, we weren't really able to get to the activity as much as I wanted to,
Yeah,
because there were so many things going on with different students. And
yeah,
I try
yeah,
to like in different times, break them up and like try to pull the kids who are like immediately like ready to go and try to give them something, because
yeah,
like it's always the worst feeling for me like not being able to do the fun things with all of them. Like that's what I
yeah.
hate the most about it. So yeah, you do have those days and you try to find ways to work around it. But unfortunately, yeah, I have many stories of days where I'm just like, well, 30 minutes have gone by and I haven't been able to explain my very simple game.
Yeah, I wonder if part of it is I've done a corporate workshops where they gave me 45 to 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And even with the adults, and we're able to get a game started in that situation. But
Yeah.
even with the adults, in a different way, I say, give me the 90. You don't maybe you don't need a full 2 hours. I recommend a full 2 hours, but
Yeah.
give me the 90 minutes because that first 45 minutes, the people don't know what they're walking into,
Yeah.
and it takes 45 minutes to the point where it feels like a cohesive thing. I
Yeah.
would say team, but not even that. But just this, the energy in the room is such that the people that are nervous have eased up. The people that think they don't need it because they think they know everything have chilled
Yeah.
out a little bit, and everyone's just having fun. They're fun. It
Yeah.
takes 30 to 45 minutes to the point where they're just having fun. And I did a workshop for Cushman Wakefield with like the CEO, like their top salespeople, and
Okay,
they had
yeah.
a huge company, and they just gave me 45 minutes. I was ready to do 2 hours. I didn't know we were only doing 45, but it was
Yeah.
a happy hour thing, and it was like great food, great drinks, all this stuff. And like, all right, we're gonna go sit down and have dinner now. It's like, it was just getting good. That was
Yeah.
one of those situations where because the CEO is in the room, everyone's like, "What's is he okay with what we're doing? Is he okay?" Like it was like
Yeah. Constantly checking in.
yeah. It took 45 minutes to get to the point where they're really just, oh, it doesn't matter what he thinks. We're having fun. We
Hmm.
don't have to worry about. We're not going to be put in a place that's going to embarrass us in a way that we have to worry about that. They realize, we've created that fun, safe space for everybody. And there have been so many times at these schools. There's one third grade class too. I substituted for Max like 2 or 3 times now, and
Yeah.
every single time by the time I leave, says, "No, no, we're having fun now." And every time, like, it took us 30 minutes to get to a place where we could do something.
Yeah.
Next time I'm here, let's start there. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Let's start there. And that's why it really needs to be the same person. The less subs, the better. And but I really think a lot of it is that it's just once you get them, I think that's the beauty of the improv. Once you get them,
Yeah.
you got them. You got them. There's so many things you can do. But it's just I had a class the other day, more like
Hmm.
fifth graders at the basketball camp we work at. And I had one
Okay, yeah.
workshop. It was really funny, and I realized what they did it 5 minutes into the second one. First workshop was the older kids and all the girls from the younger kids. I was like, okay,
Okay.
okay. And then I had all the boys from the younger kids next. And as soon by 5 minutes in, you realized, oh, I see why they separated them because the
Huh.
boys are crazy and they're there to play basketball. They just came from strength training. They kind of got the whatever, all the fluids are flowing. Like, oh, we're men
Yeah.
at 9 to 10 years old. Like, we're
Yeah,
bros.
yeah.
It was like a bro energy. And I'm like, okay, let's do stop walk. And I go to get a single game. Finally, said, let's sit in the circle, and we just talked. Because I always say they're that age, I could say, listen, I'm here to play games, but I'm really here to teach you how to listen and focus. So you can
Yeah.
hear me lecture, or we can play games. And so we're gonna sit down and hear me lecture. It says, "Oh, we want to play games, okay." And then, like 30 seconds into trying to play a game, it's falling apart. Okay, everybody sit down, listen to me lecture a little bit. And
Yeah.
it's like by the end of it, like, oh, we're just having fun. I know, but if you realize, but it's like, how do you? And like, that's why I hate the one-off workshops more and more. Like when we have a residency like you have, you can
Yeah.
build upon it, but it's much more about impressing upon those kids that there's so much more we could be doing.
Yeah, and I feel like with the residency, like they know me, they know what we're
Yeah.
doing. So even if there's some pushback some days, like it's very easy to remind them, we've had so many weeks of you having fun during this. And like
Yes.
my whole thing is like I want to play games with you so
Yeah.
we can like I'm gonna teach you something, whether
Yeah.
you realize it or not. But the goal is to start playing the games to teach you it. So it's like that like rapport we have of like okay, even like I'm sorry, Mr. OB. Like I realize like what we want to do. So it's easy like and I know like which students are gonna like sometimes I need to push a little harder on them to get them into something. I have actually this one student every single time without fail. He's in my third grade class. He's like, I don't want to do improv today. And I'm like, okay, give me 5 minutes. You try for 5 minutes and then we'll talk in 5 minutes about how you're feeling. And
Mm.
every single time he loves the game. He wants to like keep on going and like do every turn. And then at the end of it, he's like, "Oh, thanks for improv today." Like it's a whole routine we
It's
have with each
amazing. Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah. I wonder if sometimes just we're just different enough from everything else that they do,
Yeah.
even when it's like not perfect or not great for us. It's still better than what they're used to, or
Yeah.
different. Better is probably the wrong word. Different. And but there's one class over at the other school where I literally
Hmm.
just started bringing a ukulele, and started singing songs and improvising songs.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, 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 hey. And then I just had them singing the alphabet blues style. B,
Yeah.
B, B, B. All right, now let's maybe we can be bees. We like almost to try to create some kind of theatrical thing with them.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
anything. You know what's funny? We're doing a school up in Westchester. Were you on
Okay,
the
yeah.
you were on the gig? Seventh graders, I think.
Seventh
I don't
grade.
think you're on that one.
I don't, yeah, it doesn't ring a bell to me, but
I think it was Larice, Sam, Andrea right before she went to Mexico. And but I was talking about like our success is I don't really care what I teach them as
mhm.
long as I reach them. You
Yeah.
know, so whatever it takes to get them, it's just oh, that's that progressive style of teaching, and I've never heard it labeled that before. And if it is, I always hate labels. I don't care what it's called,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
to me, it's like if you don't have the kids' attention, why are you even trying to teach them mathematics? Because if
Yeah.
they don't care about mathematics, they're not going to learn mathematics. So if you don't have their attention, they're not enjoying school. And you go to so many schools where it's like for the sanity of the adults in the room, it's just one step away from being a prison. You know,
Yes.
and all the things that New York City schools had to deal with. I've been
Yeah.
in schools where I don't know if I told you this. One of the first residencies we ever did out in Queens, way out in Queens, almost Long Island, and
Mhm.
had an issue where they needed another math teacher
Oh,
and
okay.
they needed another security, and they had money for one, and they
Oh,
decided they need security more than math. And I felt that was like the saddest thing I had ever heard.
yeah. Whoa.
The reality on the ground kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
And it was one of those schools where if there was no stabbings that day, they had a good day. Anything academic was a bonus. And I'm like, oh. And I
Wow.
would have kids come into my class, these were like high school freshmen to seniors, and we'd have one of the most amazing sessions of improv out of professionals, kids, period, one
Yeah.
day. And then the next day, one of those kids had something going on at home that they just came in with the anger.
Yeah.
And it just like, I don't know what to do. And I was still young. This is going back to like 2009, maybe
Okay.
2010. And I was still kind of figuring myself out. And not that I took it personally, but it just hurt me to the point as a human being that I
Yeah.
didn't know how to deal with it, let alone how to teach them or how to mentor them. I
Yeah.
just was like, this is so heartbreaking that I kind of took a step back from the program. And I felt bad because some of the kids loved me and they felt like I abandoned them. But I was like, I couldn't do it. It was
Yeah.
so heartbreaking. And now I know more about why those things happen, 15, 16, 17 years later, and experiencing that stuff every day. I deal with it 1,000 times better now. In fact, now I look for it because I can be a part of the solution now, not part of the problem. But I
Yeah.
felt like I was part of the problem because I was like, I don't know what to do with this. And any of those movies with Michelle Pfeiffer didn't prepare me for this, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
A white savior teacher going into that classroom. Um, it works sometimes, but yada yada yada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
kind of things. But what's the biggest challenge you've had as a teacher in those situations?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it's definitely like I'm still very young, so I'm like a little inexperienced. And I think also having that and like having that moment and also thinking in mind like there are 15 like 20 other students in this classroom who I'm also supposed to be like teaching improv and having a good time for. So it's like how do I manage both at the same time without like I want to show care for this student. I want to figure out a
Yeah,
way to like help them, but how do I do that at the same time as I'm not making it everyone else's like burden also to carry like in the
yeah,
class. Like it's a hard balance for me. Yeah. And I've definitely had moments and like maybe not to the same degree, but just like yeah, someone's having a really bad day and
yeah,
they want to make it everyone else's problem. And
yeah.
it's like and of course there are like other people in the room with me, they have their coaches and everything like that, but sometimes they don't have their coaches. Like sometimes it's just like me and a teacher
It'll
just kind of
disappear.
yeah disappears, which I also understand. Like it's a busy day for you and like you have to deal with this
Yeah.
24/7, but like as someone who doesn't know these kids, like, and I'm just coming in for that day or sometimes for like that 4 week session, yeah, it's hard to try to balance both of the like caring for you, but also caring for literally everyone else in the room. Yeah.
100%. So yeah, I could talk about this all day long. I love this stuff because it's just the more we talk about it, the more I go in with my mind focused and fresh and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, again, you go to the coaches more than the teachers at that particular place because it's after school programming and they're not
Yeah.
normal teachers. The day and I've got two fifth grade classes I sub for Max for at the other place.
Yeah.
Every time I'm there, it's like, and it happens with the teachers sometimes too. They're on their phones. They're,
Mm.
it's like, and everything's going well, but that one thing they could really help me with, they're like, I'm on my own here. Okay. And I
Yeah.
call them out in front of the kids. I
Yeah.
had to say more and more, I've been bolder about doing that. Uh,
Mm.
and I don't know if it's a good thing because I don't know about selling them short helps anything. But
Mm.
I've really been on this kick the last couple years. It started right after pandemic, and we're
Mm.
doing our first live show at Mamaroneck Village at their summer camps. We had 5 shows in a row. It was the first day that that town said you don't have to wear masks,
Mm.
and it
Okay.
was a little too soon. We're
Mm.
gathering, especially because it was a rainy day, and we're doing shows inside. We're supposed
Yeah.
to be outside. We're now inside, and our cast is a little uncomfortable. We have different variations of comfort levels with at
Yeah.
that point, and the counselors and everybody had been online. It's not that much better now, but everyone had been online for a year and a half, I guess, at that point, and the counselors just wouldn't shut up. And it was the first time I ever caught out counselors in front of the campers. Like, hey,
Yeah.
counselors, maybe you should lead by example. But I've done professional development since then, where I work with teachers, and there's
Yeah.
always like two or three in the back talking, like it's a class of kids. I said, you know
Yeah.
that thing when the kids are talking in the back and you hate it and you're like, yeah, lead by example. Come on, and they're like, oh yeah. And the principal looks at me, oh, I love that you did that. you know. And I don't always like to do it in front of the kids, but at the same time, I was doing a group of 6-year-olds at a Brooklyn school,
Yeah.
and I did 4 classes a day for 4 weeks maybe. And
Mhm.
the whatever it was, the wisdom of the school was to put all the special needs classes in one room at the same time, to get them out of the way, I guess. Where
Oh,
the people that
okay.
probably need what we do the most, they gave them the least consideration, which is part of the
Mm.
problem in a lot of these schools.
Yeah.
A lot of the schools you go in and they have, people on the spectrum, ADHD, dyslexia, this, that, and then this other school has a bunch of behavioral problems because they don't have the
Mm.
resources. Same kids. Same kids. It's just that neighborhood had money, that neighborhood didn't, or resource
Yeah.
grants, whatever. So I'm in a room with like 25 or 26 kids that are on the spectrum, ADHD, special needs, all this stuff. And there's 7 adults because they have all these paras because they're the special needs
Oh,
class.
yeah.
But I've got them on my own in a circle, focused. It was really beautiful. 6-year-olds focused, working amazing. And
Yeah.
then 6 of them were in the corner talking. And then one by one, the students start noticing what's going on over there. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have their attention. Please, please,
Yeah.
go outside. And I more and more I'm just like, if you're gonna talk, go outside. And then one of the teachers told me I was at another school. They're like, "Oh, you don't like it when we talk." I says, "No, do you like it when the students talk when you're talking? It's distracting. I'm
Yeah.
on the spectrum. I have ADHD. It's distracting to me. I've got the kids. I've got 25 kids
Yeah.
focused, doing something you usually can't get them. But this is why you can't get them because you don't lead by example. I go on the get
Yeah.
off my soapbox,
But
but
no, it's really interesting because on the opposite, when they buy in, the kids buy in so much more.
100%,
Like
yeah,
I've had so many times when the like adults in the room are actively in our like activity, it lets the
yeah,
kids know like, oh, I can be silly with it too. I can have
yeah,
fun with this. Like this is a like I can do this because the person who I'm constantly seeing and honestly they look up to like in a real way
yeah,
like is doing the same thing. So like
yeah.
they yeah, it's their presence of like the a teacher, the coach, the adult in the room that they're with is so powerful for both a negative and positive way.
Have you done a school show yet where you ask adults to come up for like a freeze frame, a human slideshow game, and no adults want to come up?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've had
You know what
yeah,
I mean? And
yeah,
that to me is a sign of if the adults are afraid to come up and they're expecting kids to participate.
yeah,
Again, if you're not willing to lead by example, that moment, I was just like, I looking around, all the kids are looking at you saying, they see the hypocrisy. Kids
yeah.
are smarter than you think they are.
Oh
Not you,
yes,
but you, the people that we're talking about, and it is truly, it doesn't matter what you say, it's all about what you do. If
yeah,
you're not leading by example, I think that's 90% of what we do. If you're leading by example, as soon as you lose your focus, they lose their focus.
yeah.
And and the adults are worse, I think. I tell the kids when we're doing our shows at the club, say, listen, we're doing a show. If you stop to think, if you focus, or you start to fidget, you do anything, start playing with the curtain and do these things that you do, your parents will be on your phone because we've been on phones for 20 years. Our focus is worse than the kids. And
Yeah,
listen, focus, respect. We're yelling at the kids constantly. The adults I work with are worse. And
yeah.
post pandemic, post everything, and they're always. And I'll leave with this conversation with this part of it. The people my age, I dyed my hair, so I don't look as old, hopefully, as I am. I dyed my hair. It's darker. You can't tell with this lighting. It's darker than I expected it to be. It actually looks on the camera the way I wanted it to be. It's like 3 or 4 shades darker without the lighting, and
Oh,
because I
okay.
left the light brown in for too long.
Gotcha.
Sidetrack, but the you know the adults my age are worried about the next generation, worried about the future, and I'm
Mm,
like, just give it to Gen Z now. I feel like
mm.
their sense of logic is less ruined by 20 years of internet, 20 years of whatever crap politically, or and again, no, not even commenting on which side of the spectrum you are politically, right? But just the discourse, the kids, I feel like are more ready. Just give it to them. Let's skip the millennials. You're Gen Z or Alpha. You're Gen Z, I guess, right? Or
Gen Z, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Gen
yeah.
Z.
Just give it to Gen Z. You guys, I have nieces and nephews that don't drink because they saw their parents abusing it, and they're
Mm,
just smarter. Where like our generation, my generation, saw their parents drink and said, "Oh, they're telling us not to drink, but look at them, they're drinking, so we can drink. We're
yeah.
going to do as they do, not as they say." And I feel like Gen Z, even Gen Alpha, a little bit, are like, oh, they're wiser. They see, like they're learning from our mistakes more than we did. We picked up all the bad habits and said, "Oh, whatever parenting was going on in the 80s, we learned the wrong lessons,"
Mm.
kind of thing. And blah, 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 blah. So, anyway, wrapping it up a little bit, what else are you working on when you're not doing improv with us?
Yeah, no. So I am an actor in the city. I like doing like plays and theater and stuff like that. I my next show that I have just based off the date it is in April 27th, 28th, and May 2nd of 2026. I'm gonna be in this play called Late Bloomin'. It's a really fun project, honestly. But yeah, I think my big focus is yeah, I want to be being able to like be an actor and provide for myself in that way. So theater is what I'm on to right now, and I'm also gonna try to tap into like the on-screen commercial
Hmm.
like world, but that's very much like still in the works and everything.
Do you have a manager?
No, not yet, not yet. I've been wanting to get into one, but I like haven't developed like I want to develop a reel for them to like actually send in. So I have
Yeah.
to like look into. I don't have like too many like good recordings of the plays I've been in, so I think
Hmm.
I might just like do a like kind of write something and record myself in like a studio.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like what I was talking before, the way the algorithms go, I'm kind of off my high horse of quit your day job.
Yeah.
Uh, for those who don't know, I have books called "Quit Your Day Job," all about using the internet and entrepreneurial side of being an actor. And but I do believe there's still a very big truth into creating your own work to get work and
Yeah.
create a short film, do sketch comedy online. And if nothing else, the only thing that's working is video content online now to get
Yeah.
attention. I mean, the old school of like getting attention from managers and agents, that hasn't changed that much. But the ability to skip the line by creating something and either putting it online, putting it on a festival. If it's really good artistic stuff, put it in the festival. If it's entertaining, put it online.
Yeah.
you know,
Good
and
rule.
that I really think that's what it's all about. People put all this. these really entertaining videos. They go right to festival, and I don't think it matters anymore. I hate to say it, because who's going? It's not like it used to be. Unless you're ready to go after that studio head that's going to buy your piece. You know what I mean? I think it's
Yeah.
better to go online and figure that out, and or do what Dave is doing. Our friend Dave has full documentaries, feature length films that he's putting up on Prime. And I don't know if it's making him any money, but you can watch his movie on Prime. I paid $20 to see it. It's great. It's really fun
Mhm.
stuff. And getting it on a streamer, blah blah blah. But YouTube now is like, well, now
Yeah.
it's the number one watched platform now that people are watching YouTube. I started watching YouTube at home, although mostly cat TV, because I put the videos on for my cats, and then I turn around and like, oh, I'm the only one watching this right now because I'm doing
Yeah.
work on my phone and they're out of the room. But we started like watching like travelogue videos on YouTube and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. They're entertaining stuff, and it's like I'd rather watch that now than mediocre scripted things. So
Yeah.
it's tough. As much as I hate like traditional reality TV, just lowest common denominator stuff. But yeah, I can't travel right now. I want to see some Italy and stuff. So blah 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 blah. But hey man, thank you for doing this with me. I'm really excited. If you don't know Obi, come see him perform. And if you are a manager and agent, give him a shot. He's a phenomenal talent, right? In fact, you send me your stuff. I'm gonna send you to my manager because I can't believe we haven't had this conversation yet. Because you should be working. Obi is just a solid human being, and if nothing else, I think what everybody needs to learn from Obi, all actors, um, what goes on off stage might be more important than what goes on stage, because there's a lot of talent on stage, but you bring it off stage. Lead with a smile. You do everything I teach before I met you. Leading with a
Yeah.
smile, the have fun thing. You buy in because you did it, and that's a quality you can't teach. You can only inspire and hope for the best as a teacher. But you came in the door with that, and that's why I'm just like, yeah. What are you available for? I'm sad you're doing this other
Yeah.
place because I can't get you for our public shows. But but that's a wonderful problem for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't complain. I
uh,
love being booked.
and if you're an actor watching this, take that lesson, learn that lesson. Like,
Yeah.
be somebody people want to work with, and then have people like me, producers, like fight for you. Because we want to work with you, because we want. I always say the reason I love doing what I do is I get to do a show, and when I have a 10 hours in the car round trip, I get to choose who's in the car with me. I
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
boss. And I, more so than any other thing that we do, though, that being who I get to be on stage with, and there's a lot of people that I really enjoy their talents, but off stage are like, oh, I just can't hear them complain about nepo babies again. I don't
Yeah.
want to work with them. It's like, yeah, like it's a new thing. Like nepo babies weren't always getting all the work for millennia. It's just, yeah, don't get me started. But anyway, check OB out, and we'll put all of his links in the. Do you have a website?
No, actually not yet. No, I know. I still have to.
We're gonna talk when we close this. You haven't heard my whole story then, or you haven't listened to my quit your day job pitch. I won't bore you right now with that. Hey guys, thank you for coming out, having fun with Walt Frasier. Come check us out in Times Square. We're all over. We got shows in Long Island. We're touring DC to Boston daily. Murder mysteries, improv comedy, corporate team building workshops, and of course our K-12 educational improv for kids outreach program. We love just doing what we do, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. See you guys.
There's another button. Hit stop recording.